I'm just laying out these aspects clear, because we all will have these challenges. And of course, Krishna speaks about these challenges. Vedanta speaks about all these challenges that come when we take the path of trying to work on ourselves. And have you all known that we say Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti 3 times? Ever wondered why we say that 3 times? Whom are we asking to do Shanti, Shanti? Is somebody not hearing properly? So we are telling them, can you please say it 3 times? Is that what we think Shanti, Shanti is all about? What do you think Shanti, Shanti is all about? So whenever we pursue the path of finding answers which are beyond the so-called material world, answers to our own existence, our conflicts, our internal journeys, it is said that man comes or faces 3 types of obstacles. Okay, what are 3 types of obstacles? What are they? Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, and Adhyatmika. 3 types of obstacles. Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. Adi Bhautika is like, for example, I just got everything set, but suddenly, you know, my friend called up and said, look, there's an emergency, come right now. I need your help. What happened? Resultant is you could not attend the session, right? You'll say, oh, it's okay. I have a recording option. I will listen to the recording, right? But recording is like what? It's like having a photo of your father, talking to it and feeling that you have had a conversation with him, because the energy is already stale there. It's not live energy, right? Why do people listen to go for live bands? It's very different, right? You can listen to the same thing here. Why do people go to the stadium to watch a cricket show live? Because the energy there is very different from watching it on a screen. That's why people want front seats, isn't it? For shows and for matches or for any programs, you want the front seat. When we used to have the satsang here, there's always that, you know, who's going to sit right in front? If someone's place is already occupied, the other person is really going to be like, okay, I'll come 10 minutes earlier next time so that I get my seat. Have you all done that? Yes. So, Adi Bhautika are challenges that come across in our life due to people around us. Okay. So, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika. Daiva means an unknown force. We all know in Tamil we say Daivam, right? Unknown force. An unknown force, we don't know how this problem came, from where it happened, how it happened. I had no control over it. Do we say that? I have no control over it. It just happened. Right? For example, we have torrential rains, as a result of which the internet is just not going to work tonight. What happens? No, we can't influence it. So, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika. And then we have Adhyatmika. Adhyatmika means my own mind creates situations in my life because of which I am unable to walk this path. My own mind, and it can be even my own body. I become sick, I become unwell. I'm not feeling like today, you know, I had a fight and I just don't want to go and sit with that mood for a Bhagavad Gita class. What is it? Can't relate, right? So 3 possibilities, 3 obstacles, and that is why we say Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahanau Bhunattu. Together we are going to be. See here, when we say Sahana Vavatu, Saha means together. It's not just you who are here. The teacher is also here. The Acharya is also here. It is a process that is happening between the 2 of them. It's a process that is happening between the 2 of them. Sahanau Bhunak, together they are trying to walk the path of light. And so Let there be no obstacles through my mind, through the people around me, or something that is unknown, unforsaken, unforeseen. Let there be no such obstacles that come and impede my journey, my study of this path. Right? And are these obstacles, one may say, oh, but are these obstacles something that God or people or try to create purposely? No. It may appear so. This guy called me and I had to go at that time. I just don't have any control over it. It may appear so, but the reality which Krishna tells, which Vedanta tells, which our scriptures tell, is the lack of our own intensity. Our own intensity, our own sankalpa shakti, when it falls short, what will happen? All the tests will come, right? Every one of us have gone through this, right? How we will have all mind will say, okay, maybe I'll start from next class. Oh, somebody expired in my family. I will come 1 month later because I've got relatives. As if all the relatives 24/7 are talking to you in that house. But mind. So, like I said, Adi Bhautika, Adi Daivika, Adhyatmika. Your own mind will also, no, I want to listen to this peacefully. With so many people, I don't want them to know I'm listening to a Bhagavad Gita satsang. Maybe what they'll think about me. So many things the mind will construe. I'm just giving examples. These become the very impediments to your journey. Journey to what? Journey to unveil the Krishna within you. Arjuna brought out the Krishna in him to guide. And Krishna gave him the guidance. Right? How do you say Arjuna brought out Krishna? Wasn't Krishna already there? Yes, Krishna was already there. For that, just listen to the story. So when Krishna in the afternoon was busy with his afternoon siesta, both the war has already been pronounced. And Krishna's Sena, the Narayani Sena, Balarama, and Krishna, three important elements which can, change the equation of the war. So Duryodhana and Arjuna both go to meet Krishna. Duryodhana has already come first. And looking at Krishna resting, he says, I'll wait. He looks at his feet. He's a king. I'll sit, where? Near his head. Sitting at the feet kind of, brings a little less dignity. Nobody wants to kisi ke pair ke wahan baithna. We don't want to. We prefer, I'll sit. We don't like the idea of sitting at somebody's feet. So he goes and sits near the headrest of Krishna. Then comes Arjuna. Arjuna sits at the feet of Krishna. After a while, Krishna nicely wakes up, right? Gives a nice twist. And he wakes up. And now generally when you wake up, where do you look? You look towards this side, right? Towards your foot. So he says, oh, Arjuna, you have come. So Duryodhana says, yes, I came first. So he says, okay. What brings both of you here? So Arjuna says, look, Duryodhana has come first. So maybe he wants to let him have his word. Arjuna says, let him have his word. Krishna says, okay, but you're young and I saw you first. So I'll give you a chance. And then Arjuna says, O Lord, O Sakha, O Bandhu, I seek you and your guidance for this war, for this yuddha that is coming up. Arjuna saying this, Duryodhana is extremely relieved. That's how it is, right? When we are materialistic, what do we seek? Hush. He's asked only for Krishna. The Narayani Sena, is so powerful because it is Narayana Sena and Balarama. I've got the deal. Yeah, we're all like that, right? Larger the discount, larger the joy. Oh, I got the deal. Bigger the money, more happy. Bigger the appreciation externally, bigger we get a big gift where we're very happy. Somebody brings a small gift, we like to see the gift size to be. So also, Duryodhana is very happy. Thank God this guy, he didn't ask for the Narayani Sena. Then Krishna says, look, Arjuna, but there's one thing you've asked for me. There's one thing. You know what? I'll not fight this war. I won't pick up any shastra. All the more Duryodhana is happy because Krishna's Sudarshana, we all know, right? He said, this guy's got a raw deal. Buddhu ka buddhu hi raha. Hai na? Most of us are like that, right? If we know God is there, that is a different thing. Even then, we'll say, look, God is there, but right now my hunger, God is not going to help. I need this, for my hunger. So I'll go with the pizza for now. We'll look at God later. We'll go to look at the food right now. We'll look at this deal right now, this project right now. We'll look at God later. Right? Because we believe that even God, to attain God also, I need the means of money. So we are very happy. And actually, we want God only for that much. If God comes very close, we're not very happy with this because that can be a little scary. We are okay to keep him on one corner and say, okay, I'll do puja, keep on laddu every day. If God starts eating your laddu every day, you'll stop that also because this guy is eating everything that I place. So the prasadam will also stop because nothing is left for me. Right? So also here, Duryodhana is very happy. And Krishna tells, okay, this is the deal. I'm there for you. And then he says, okay, Krishna, I need you to guide me, to be my charioteer in the war. Wow. Asking a king to be a charioteer? Asking Krishna to be your charioteer? That is the limitation of our mind to understand the story. Vyasa put it in a story so that whoever is whatever level will understand the story at that level only. But the one who will look beyond the story will understand who is Krishna, who is Arjuna, who is Duryodhana. Duryodhana kind of represents all those opportunities that we have in the world, in the physical world. Vis-a-vis Krishna, who is Krishna? Who is Arjuna? What does the chariot represent? The chariot represents the body. Arjuna represents the mind that is conflicted and deluded. Remember, in the first session, I said that Krishna takes the chariot exactly at that point where Bhishma and Drona are standing, the two greatest weaknesses of Arjuna's life. Aren't exactly those points where life brings us and makes us stand? Isn't exactly that where we have all the conflicts of our mind? When it brings you right in front of a decision between your child and ethics, morality, and my near ones. And that is the beauty of life. So also here, Krishna represents the one who directs the mind towards right decision making. He is that part of one's nature, the higher self, that manifests as the one who leads the mind with its senses. How many horses did Arjuna's chariot have? 5. What do they represent? The 5 senses. The mind driven by the 5 senses in the body, which is the chariot, and led by Krishna, who is the self, the Purna Avatara, the higher intellect, which is powered by the ultimate power itself, by consciousness itself. That is what Krishna represents. And if your life is led by a person with that kind of clarity, if that higher intellect, if that higher self directs the mind, would your decisions waver? Would you be conflicted? Would you make mistakes? Would you be lost? Right? Why? Because you have got the ultimate torch, and your mind is now not deluded by the conflicts of the world externally, but is actually directed by the light within, or by the higher light of consciousness. That is why the Gita becomes the most relevant text, scripture, writing for every age group, for every gender, for every problem. We said last week as well that dharme cha arthe cha kame cha mokshe cha bharatarshabha. Bharatarshabha means addressing the king. It says dharme cha arthe cha kame cha mokshe cha bharatarshabha. Yadi hasti tadanyatra yana hasti na tat kvachit. Yadi hasti na tat anyatra yana hasti na tat kvachit. What does it mean? That this great Mahabharata text, considered as the 5th Veda written by Vyasacharya, contains everything possible which is needed for humanity. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Everything that we need, that a human being needs, wants, can be divided into these 4 segments. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. We saw this last week. We will see it again this week. So it says that this text, this scripture, considered as the scripture, speaks about these 4, O great Bharatiya. What is not found anywhere else is found here. What is found here may be found in other texts, but what is found, not found here, yadi hasti na anyatra, what is not found anywhere else, every bit of that is found in this one text alone, the text of Mahabharata. So dharma means ethics, morality. Artha means what? All what you need for your sustenance, your economic sustenance. Right? Dharma, artha, kama. Whatever you need, whatever man needs to fulfill his desires. and finally attain liberation, salvation, moksha. What is moksha? Not after you die. To be free from the conflicts of your mind, to be in a state of eternal happiness that man is seeking through objects, through people, through relationships, through power, through name, through fame, all of that, to be free from the undulations created by these desires. That is moksha, right? You all agree to this? Now, so, yadi anyatra tadahasti yanahasti na tatkvachit. What is here may not be found in elsewhere. Right? Yes or no? But whatever is there and what is needed for mankind is all there in one text. Why did Vyasa do this? There's a very beautiful verse where Vyasa says, there's a very beautiful verse which says, Ananta Shastram. Ananta Shastram means what? Many, Ananta, no end. How many Shastras are there? Ananta Shastram Bahuveditavyam. Many Shastras, lot of information in the Vedas. Alpascha Kalo Bahavascha Vignaha. Alpascha Kalo means very little time we have. Look at our life. Do we have time? This 2 hours also with video for people to switch on is such a big challenge. To find 2 hours in the whole week, right? So Alpascha Kalo Bahavascha Vignaha. So many Vignas come in that also, right? Yat Sarabhutam tat upasitavyam. Yat sarabhutam tat upasitavyam. If you want to find all the sara, the upasanas of how to lead life, then hamso yatha kshira ivambhu mishra. Then this text, like the hamsa, this, the beauty of hamsas, what they can do. Suppose you mix, mishra means mix. You mix water and milk. This hamsa can effectively just remove the milk from the mixture. Can we do it? Once he said milk and water is mixed, how we can do it. But that is the beauty. That's why they are called Paramahamsas. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Why Paramahamsa? Because in this samsara, the kshira is mixed with the ivambhu, means water and kshira. Milk and water is mixed. Right? And only the Paramahamsa can extract the milk from this mixture, from this mishra. Mishra means the confusion. Mixture. The concoction that has happened, only the Hamsa can extract it. So, he says that this age that we are in, it's very difficult. Alpascha Kalo, lifespan itself is high. Okay, whatever. Let's say 80, 90, 100. But from almost 70, 80, half of them, they're alive, but they're almost dead. Because they'll be too busy with something else, can't hear, can't walk, can't sit, health issues, or grandchildren are playing in the house, very happy to be with them. So, alpascha kalo, bahavascha vignaha. It's written so long back, which means even back then there were challenges, right? So, tat upasitavyam hamso yatha kshira ivambhu mishraha. This is what the Mahabharata, the Bhagavad Gita does for us. It just extracts the milk out of this mixture and gives it. So, O Jiva, if you don't have time to study many scriptures, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, Vedas, Shastras, at least, see the greatness of Shruti Mata. She comes, oh, please do this much pa. She comes. Itna to kar lo. Even for that, what happens? That Sunday, 2 hours only, all the problems will come. All the engagements will happen. And remember, who is responsible for it? We, because our sankalpa is not strong enough. Our sankalpa is not strong enough. The first thing that the Gita teaches you is to take responsibility of yourself. Because here, going back to that story, Krishna could have come with a Sudarshan Chakra, and one Sudarshan Chakra is enough to finish the entire army. Right? Yes? But he says, I will not come with a Sudarshan Chakra. I will not come with my Shastra. I will empower you. So if you think that someone is going to do the job for you, some magic wand is going to happen, then this should be a greater answer that Krishna didn't do this even for Arjuna. We are nowhere even near Arjuna. Krishna only made Arjuna aware, and Arjuna had to take the responsibility of the final decision and had to do the action. Right? Going back to that story, now Duryodhana has the Narayani Sena, but little does this man know, or he's not perhaps realized, that the key to the Narayani Sena is Narayana himself. The power behind the Narayani Sena is Krishna himself. That is how we run after material objects. We think if I get this, this will be sorted. Little do we realize that these material objects are themselves powered by the Lord's power. If I have what I have today, it is because of him. If I'm going through what I'm going through, and if I have understood what I have understood, it is the Lord's power. So in spite of that, look at our pettiness, right? We choose, like Duryodhana, the Narayani Sena, because we can materially count. You know, I have so many lakhs, crores in my account. Makes me happy. Next day, you don't wake up. You forget the power, that power is the bank account. You forget the power because of which you have managed to earn what you have managed to earn in that account. That is the depth of understanding. That is why decoding the Bhagavad Gita, because we've all heard this story maybe, or even when I tell the story, we'll all know, yeah, he asked, he was very smart. He knew Krishna was God. But what a God. This God doesn't fight for you. This God comes completely free from all his shastras. Who will want such a God? Logically, right? So that is the decision that the mind makes. And what kind of mind is Arjuna? That we will see. Why only Arjuna? What kind of mind does Arjuna represent? Why does he become eligible to get Krishna, whereas we struggle with our conflicts? What does it take to evoke a Krishna? That is the Bhagavad Gita. It's not a one-line answer, one-word answer. It is the journey that Krishna takes Arjuna that makes it relevant for this Arjuna to become capable enough to invoke the Krishna to guide this Arjuna. Which Arjuna? All the Arjunas here. Right? So Arjuna in the Mahabharata finds his Krishna, rather manifests his Krishna, rather extracts his Krishna out of his purity, his determination, his right understanding of life, right eligibility as a student, and teaches us what it takes to bring out the Krishna in your life. Is this understood? Right? That is why the word decoding is very, very key. It is not listening to the Gita, what Krishna told Gita to Arjuna. Everybody says that. What does it mean to you? Because what I will say will remain the same, but for each one of you, Krishna will interpret it according to your consciousness. That is why the camera needs to be on. Otherwise, he will not interpret it. So even those who are there online right now, but with camera off, interpretation will not happen. This is how energy works. It cannot be a one-way affair, right? Could Krishna have delivered what he delivered without Arjuna asking the questions? If Arjuna would have just stood there and said and looked and said, oh, Krishna, I'm not fighting. This doesn't look good. My grandfather, my teacher, I love them. I can't do anything. And then I just stand there. You think Krishna would have spoken? 700 verses? He actually finishes the entire Gita in the second chapter itself. The rest of the verses are because we are all like Arjunas. One doubt is over, we sit, yeah, I understood everything. Do we finish like that? No, 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 no. Again, another doubt will come. But that is the problem. But this is the problem. We will have resistance, defense, questions, queries, doubts. So many things will come. Confusions will come. Right? When he's saying yajna, are you meaning the fire yajna? Are you meaning the self? So many doubts will come. When you're saying Ajnani Krishna, how does he look? How does he eat? How does he live? Arjuna asks everything. And only because he asks, Krishna says. How many of us ask? First of all, we don't ask. Secondly, we don't know how to ask. Thirdly, we don't know what to ask. So, another beautiful thing that Krishna and Arjuna teach us is what to ask, how to approach, how to understand, how to inquiry, how to question, how to look within, how to inquire. The most important part of one's life is how do you question, right? Einstein said, if there was a problem given, I would spend how much time? Arya, how much time? A large part, at least 70% of my time to, or I think he says 80%. 80% of the time, I would actually spend in trying to find the right question. Because if I have the right question, what will you get? You will find the right answer, right? Yeah. That's the beauty of the right question and right questioning and self-inquiry. Right? In recent times, for those who have heard of Chandragupta Maurya, have you all heard of this word? Chandragupta Maurya. And do you know who was his mentor? Was Chanakya. Have you all heard? Chanakya, Kautilya, Arthashastra, political science, religion. He spoke about astrology, astronomy. There's not a subject he's not spoken about. And do you know what he says leads him to each of this? He says it is called the science of Anvikshiki. That is the word he uses. In his first chapter for his students, he speaks about Samuddesha, the science of inquiry, questioning, critical questioning. That is his first chapter for his students. That is his first subject to teach his students, how to do inquiry. Atma Vishleshan, Anvikshiki, self-inquiry. Now, self-inquiry is not just to find out who you are, but the process of finding who you are, you will unveil so many other things on the way. You get that? It's like when you go about to build, let's say, a building, will I not learn space management, material management, logistics, pricing, commerce, right? I will have to do so many more things to finally get there. Yes? That is the beauty of inquiry. And that is the spirit of the Gita, in fact. The fundamental spirit of the Gita is self-inquiry. If it had not been for Arjuna, who questioned, who asked the right question, the Gita would have never reached us. Right? So, the Shastras tell us one very beautiful thing. And this is very relevant because most of us, when we look at the Bhagavad Gita, and especially when foreigners and all, they speak, oh, why war? Why does the God talk about war? He should be on a peace mission. So many people are being killed in a war. Why should he talk about war? The Shastras say, Sama, Dama, Bheda, Danda. And exactly like that, you will see Krishna, how he follows the Shastras to the core. Sama. Sama means what? Peace talks. Come on, let's talk. Let's discuss. Let's understand where the issue is. Let's not jump to conclusions. Right? How many of us do that with our relationships? With ourselves, first of all. Many times I ask people questions, they say, I don't know. Arey, but you are thinking, how come you don't know? Why did you do that? I don't know. You don't know why you did that. What was the reason for you to react that way? When I say, I don't know is a disease. It's an absolute disease that outlines laziness, lethargy, and lack of any intellectual stimulation for anything better in your life. And I'm saying this in spite of having all the IIM graduates here and the IAS officers, whoever. I say this, that it's utmost lethargy when you can talk and think about a subject, but cannot inquire into the fundamentals of your existence. I don't know. Who is supposed to know? Who is supposed to know? Why have you been living like this? I don't know. Why are you not able to make the change in your life? I don't know. I'm trying. I don't know. What made you react to the situation? I don't know. It's a disease. Let this disease not grip you. Try to inquire. And do not give up until you inquire and find it. And try to get deeper and deeper with it. Have you all used this disease sentence, I don't know, in our life? Yeah. And verse is, I don't know. Maybe God had planned it that way. My God, that's another big disease. Making God responsible for everything. Your actions, you are not responsible. Good things, oh, I only taught him, I only did this. Yeah, I have always been talking this. So he has heard about it. And so, oh, you are. But why is it? I don't know. Maybe that is how he is destined. So we are very smart. First of all, we don't know what is God. Who is God? We have some vague idea about God. And some photo will be there. So we will hold to that. That is what we know. And we are living like that. So we don't know whether God is actually doing it or I am doing it. Conveniently, when things go my way, positive, I have done it. When conveniently, when they don't go my way, God has done it. And there are some even more smart people. In the heart of heart, they know they have done the effort. But externally, when you ask, they'll say, no, it's all God's grace. They very well know if they wouldn't have studied for the exam, nothing would have moved. God's grace would not have moved a single, alphabet on that paper. So all these kind of pseudo identities, will never allow you to understand Krishna. You have to cut out, break out of all these structures that you have built around you about God, about divinity, about prayers, about spirituality. So a lot of things will be shattered. So be ready for it. So, Sama Dama, Bheda Danda. Sama. He goes, talks, peace talks, doesn't work. Then, Dana. Dana or Dama, whatever. Say, okay, let's do some mandavali. Let's settle it out. Why don't you, give us this much? Be okay. Sama ho gaya, Dam ho gaya, acha de do, ye hai, itna tum rakh lo, itna mujhe de do. We do that, na? Deal. So Krishna did that also with Duryodhana. He says, look, it's okay. We don't want war because it's going to be really lot of pain for everybody. So let's do the deal. Let's just give them 5 districts. Duryodhana says no. Remember who is Duryodhana? The mind that is obsessed with the samsara, with the objects, with the material life. The mind that is obsessed with the material life is Duryodhana, which believes that this is what determines me, this is what will decide how and how powerful I am. And Arjuna's mind, or Arjuna stands for a purified mind, which is open to learning, ready to break the beliefs, wanting to get direction from the highest teacher, and does not care whether the teacher is sitting in a hut or is in a palace or is the most is coming with all his pomp and fanfare. He's not concerned with that. He knows the substance is what matters. Right? We have these ideas. No, if I have a guru in my life, the guru should be, we have all those frames. Should be a sannyasi, should be wearing an ochre robe, or maybe should be someone who's young, or someone who's very old, or someone who is masculine, feminine, who is a bhakta of that. All these ideas we have, right? Krishna was only the essence and Arjuna was only interested in that essence. That's why Krishna came with nothing per se. But little does the deluded mind of Duryodhana understand that Krishna coming with nothing is everything. Because the power that powers everything, you can keep everything on one side and the power one side. Which one is obviously the power, right? So Sama, Dama, 5 villages, no. Okay, 5 houses you can give Duryodhana. There are 5 brothers, 5 houses. No, forget 5 houses. 5 points, at the tip of the needle. 5 spaces equivalent to the tip of the needle I will not give. Up, closed the possibility of Dama. Krishna being Krishna, Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Right? Goes to Karna. Karna is a very important asset for Duryodhana. Because remember, a materialistic mind, a deluded mind will have attachment with somebody from where it gets its strength of being that way. Yes or no? Some arrogance will be there. Some ego it will hold. So in a way, Karna was like his ego, because he knew Karna was equivalent to Arjuna, great warrior, trained by Parashurama himself, the same teacher who trained Bhishma, right? In the war, there were 3 students who were the disciples of the great Parashurama and had learned warfare from him. One, Bhishma. Second, Karna. Third, Dronacharya. How did Dronacharya learn? We'll get that story when we come to Drona. When we go character by character, slowly as we will unveil, we'll come to these stories. So, what happens? Goes to Karna and slowly reveals to him, you're not Radheya Putra. You are Kunti Putra. I am Kunti Putra. They are my brothers. Now I'm going to have to fight my brothers. Very difficult. Not only does he approach Karna, he also sends Kunti to approach Karna. Bheda, creating a moment of weakness in the opposite Khema. Khema means camp. By creating rift. Right? If you know that two people are good friends and they are the strength, we all do that, right? We'll go to one person and try to befriend them and then to try to poison them about the other person so that maybe their friendship is not as thick. Children do all that in the schools also, right? So they give something to entice this friend towards them. All these happen. Even as people grow also, they do these things. So Samadama, Bheda. But Karna, being extremely indebted to Duryodhana, who gave him a certain sense of value in life. Otherwise, he was not feeling valued because he felt he was a great warrior, but he was not getting the value for his existence. So he felt extremely indebted to to Duryodhana. He said, no, I can't do this. Won't be able to do it. And therefore, the third possibility of Bheda was also gone. If you look at politics today, world politics, international politics, you will always see all of these reflected. Finally, it reaches a point of war. So there's no greater scripture, text that speaks about warfare and political science than the Mahabharata. So Samadama Bheda Danda. Finally, with no other way left, the only way was war. That is why the war becomes inevitable. It is not that Krishna, the greatest mediator, did not try these options. Why am I taking time to tell you all these stories? Because when you understand the Mahabharata, when you understand the Gita with its glory, with the stories, you understand that it was not what people can just say, but Krishna, because a lot of perception is there that, if you keep the Mahabharata in your house, chagda ho jayega. So there was a time when people said, don't have any photographs of Mahabharata or books, otherwise you'll have war. These kind of perceptions, because it brings war. Some silly guy of Vastu must have brought up some silly little peddly brain of his and decided to talk about these things, right? But this is the glory of the Mahabharata. It speaks about every aspect of relationships, politics, religion, astrology, astronomy, technology, relationships, sociology, psychology. It can just go on. Nothing is missed. So we saw last week that when we speak about dharma, artha, kama, moksha, all of these can be divided. All actions of mankind can be divided into these four buckets: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. What is artha? The very fundamental man starts with is what? Money. Right? I say, how many of us want money? Everybody's hands go up. Yeah. Right? We say, what if you had money and you could also make money through your passion? How many hands will go up? Oh, yes, yes, that's a better combination. Money and also a passion that I like, right? Wait, wait, wait. How if you could make money and you also could pursue your passion, but you could also contribute to people's lives? Oh, that's even better. Because at the core, is there anyone who doesn't want to do it? Everybody will say, yes, yes, this is a good idea. Because at the core, we all are beings of love. We want to contribute to people's life because by contributing to people's lives, we feel valued and valuable even to ourselves. Now, whether people say or not, you will feel, yes, I've done something valuable in my life. Very rarely people generally would want to just be about pursuing money and passion. That's a very low life. That's almost like living a life of artha and kama, desire and driven by your desires and just money, passion and money. Most of us would also want to have a contributive life, right? And then if you say, what if you had money? You could do what? You could follow your passion. You could also make a difference to people's lives. But you, at the end of the day, you also had the freedom to do what your heart wants apart from these things. Spending time with nature, being with yourself. Oh, this is very, very interesting, right? All of us will say, yeah, the fourth makes a lot of sense. What are all these that I spoke about? When you say, I want only money, it's artha. When you say, I want artha plus passion, it's artha plus kama. When you said, yes, I want to contribute to people's lives also, you said artha, kama, dharma. And then you said, but I want that freedom also to just be. That is moksha. The only difference is that you really don't know the right understanding of moksha. You want freedom. You want freedom to do what you want to do, when you want to do, how you want to do, for all the other things that you want to do. And that is why you're looking for financial freedom. But you don't know what is it that really you're looking as moksha. That understanding is not yet clear. And you don't know at some point, if dharma is not there, if that contributor opportunity is not there in your life, you don't seem to be greatly perturbed because you don't know the value that dharma brings to your life. But the rishis saw that most man's desires, wants, needs can be classified into these four. Is it true? Is there anything else that we seek beyond these four? Just think of it. Anything else? Not really. They can be classified into these four. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So said the rishis. So said Manusmriti. Why? Because he said, look, if this man runs after money and passion without having dharma's understanding, without having the first understanding itself of dharma, then what will happen? He will be rotating only here. Artha, kama, kama, artha, kama, artha, artha, kama. You see that, right? One desire is fulfilled, another comes. Another is fulfilled, another comes. Another comes, another. Forget contributorship. Perhaps till the time you get 60, you don't even think about it. And at that time, you think because now you're not working anymore. Or you feel now, it's okay. I can do some seva. And you do, and you contribute somewhere, something, and you feel you're doing a great job. I've contributed. Right? Otherwise, mostly we are oscillating between artha, kama, kama, artha, kama, kama, artha. Right? Yes or no? Yeah. The balloons, the colorful balloons just keep us enticed in life, various colors, and then we are lost. That's why the Rishi said, understand dharma, hold on to dharma, lead a life of dharma, and knowing what is dharma, pursue artha and kama. If you do this, when the right time comes, you will be ready to immerse yourself into moksha. You will be liberated from the perils of desires. What is perils of desire? Why desire is a peril, yaar? Come on. It's such a nice thing. It's because I desire something, I go after this, I get this. Desire अच्छा है. उसमें क्या बुरा है? Desire अच्छा है. लेकिन desire जब पूरा नहीं होता है, what happens? When it is not fulfilled, what happens? Mind is running overtime. क्यों नहीं हो रहा है? Right? But if that desire had a direction from somebody like Krishna, then what would happen? The quality of your persuasion or the quality of your work will be very different. Yes or no? So dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Liberation from what? Liberation from fear, liberation from greed. Have you observed how obsessive we are with that fear and greed? We keep on doing things because we are scared. If I don't do this, I will not have enough. If I spend this, I will not have enough. If I do this will go away. I need more, because what if that problem will happen? This problem will happen. So fear and greed are continuously running our life. Just think of it. Even when we say family security, children's security, it never gets over after that. Grandchildren's security, grandchildren's education, this, then my medical, this. We're always running out of fear and greed. What would it be to be free from this? If a teacher came to a class to teach the children free from fear of not being able to earn, free from concerns of her child, free from concerns about not having enough or not being able to fulfill her desire, what would be the quality of teaching that would happen in a school? You can all imagine, right? Yeah. That is the direction that the Gita gives people, how to be free from this fear and greed. Why? No, Nityam, I think your fear and greed are good. They make us more competitive. They make us run better. They make us, do better work. How many of you believe that? Fear and greed, you can run better, you can do better, you can deliver better. Another word in school commonly used is competition is very healthy. Right? But competition with whom? Competition is healthy if it is with yourself. How you were yesterday to how you are today. But if it is going to be with your neighbor, how much he earns, how much you earn, which car he drives, which car I drive, which holiday did my friend take last time, which holiday I am going to take today, which brand is she using, which brand am I using? If this is competition, does it give you peace of mind? Does it give you security? Does it give you happiness? What are you always searching for? Security, peace, happiness? Do we all want these? And what do? We believe by gaining these objects, I will gain peace, security, happiness. Is there anybody who wants pain here? Sadness here? How much ever happy they are in their life, they want more happiness. Correct? Yes. Is that a clear understanding that everybody wants happiness? Or no, I'm not, I don't want happiness. It's okay. I can just be. Those who are happy in life also, they want that happiness to be continued in life. Have you observed? So we want eternal happiness. Sada bana rahe. That is why we want to stay youthful eternally. Because it will give you joy eternally. Right? We want money to stay with us eternally because we know, yes, it will give me security eternally. Now, question. What are you seeking? Eternal happiness. Can I put that security, peace, and happiness as one word? is happiness, right? Security also you want because you want to be happy. You don't want to, oh, tomorrow you don't want to get up and say, will this house will be there, or will I have money to buy my groceries, or you know, for my child's higher education. You don't want that situation, right? So you want a state of continuous happiness. Eternal happiness is the word I'm using there. Now, when you want eternal happiness, you look for what? You want all sorts of things for it, for happiness, right? That's, you go for a movie, why? You want to feel nice, happy. You buy an object, why? You want to feel happy by possessing it. Is this a fair statement? Everybody has this. I want to go to a restaurant because, you know, makes me feel happy eating nice food, right? Good clothes. Yeah, makes me feel good when I'm dressed well and everybody compliments me. I want to be healthy. Yes, because internally I feel healthy and I feel energetic, so I want to be healthy. Yes, eternal happiness. I want to work. Why do I want to work? Because I'm of some value. Otherwise, I don't know. So why should I be of value? Because I feel that with that, I'll be happy. That will give me real joy. I'll feel something in life I am worthy of, right? So that worthiness, all of that, these are various disguised words for that happiness that we're looking at, right? Now, I want to ask you two questions. How many of you feel happy after sleep? After having a good night's sleep, how many of you feel happy? Anyone who doesn't feel happy after sleeping? Everybody feels happy. Surprising. But in your sleep, you didn't have any object, right? To give you happiness. You didn't have any relationship. There was no loving, no person whom you love, but you felt very good. Yes? Anybody who says, no, I don't like to sleep. In fact, even the person who you love the most, your child, your husband is sitting and telling you a great, grand story also, even who could not resist sleeping in the Mahabharata when Arjuna was narrating. Who was it? Who was Arjuna's wife? Subhadra. Great warrior princess she is. But she fell asleep. So sleep takes over. Oh, ho, ho. Kitna bhi acha Nityama, you will tell story, but you know what? That point, oh, now it's already 4 o'clock. Mahashivratri over. We have to crash, right? This is true for all of us, all the jivas. Incidentally, I don't know if you know, but Arjuna had the boon of staying awake. He could go without sleep for many things. What does sleep represent here is another question I will leave you with. When you say Arjuna could go without sleep, or could do without sleep, or did not need sleep, what does it mean? What sleep is really being spoken out? You have to think. Is it just this physical sleep, or the sleep of the mind that goes off to sleep, being deluded by the world? That is what really Arjuna's mind was. The quality of Arjuna's mind. It was not carried away by the carrots and lollipops of the world. Okay? That's why he's ready to become even a sannyasi in the Vishada Yoga when we go there. So, going back, what was I saying? Subhadra also falls asleep. Nidra. Right? So, Nidra, there is nothing in your sleep. No father, no mother, no money, no daughter, no relationship, no name, fame. You don't know you're a doctor, engineer, you have got Padma Bhushan, or you're president, prime minister. No awareness of your existence is there. No object is there. But the ananda that is there when you wake up from a sleep is incompensable. I don't know if that's a word in English, but nevertheless, if it's not there, I've coined it. Okay? It cannot be compensated. No, otherwise some English stalwarts will start, Nityama, there's no such word as there. You got the point, na? Okay. Fine. You got it? So, no object is there, but appa, that sukha is not compromisable with anything. Now, how many of us said objects give us joy? Raise your hand. That's what we do, na, for joy. We are all the way running. Bahar kyun ja rahe? Degree ke piche, paise ke piche, object ke piche, relationship ke piche, because they are going to give us joy. Yes, that's why we are continuously running after them. Correct? Now, okay, let's today we'll make Sadhusha the scapegoat. Sadhusha, which is the sweet that you like?
I have sweet tooth, so I love all sweets.
You
Like
love
most of the
all sweets. Brilliant. See, I knew that. You're the perfect match for this. So let's say today we send you a whole basket of sweets. Sadhusha is so happy. My God, she's such a sweet lady. She knew that I love sweets and she sent me sweets. Okay. The next half an hour, again, another basket arrives. Now the third basket arrives. Sadhusha loves sweets because sweets give her joy. Remember, everybody? Yes. Fifth basket comes and the seventh basket comes, and in 24 hours, her entire house is covered with baskets of sweets which are waiting for her to be eaten. Sadhusha, what do you think about the sweets? Are they the source of joy?
not at all.
How come you? We all right now said that objects are the source of joy. By earning money, by having the dear ones next to me, you know, I have lot of joy. Things that I desire for. When I get them, I get a lot of joy. My favorite dress, I wanted this, this dress. I wanted this pair of diamond earrings and I got it. Okay, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth diamond, the sixth, and the seventh. And like you say, tell your husband, are you short of choices in life that you're only giving me diamond earrings? So that which was giving you joy continuously, the assumption that this object is going to give me joy is now becoming the very cause of your pain and problem. How is that possible? If this object is giving me joy, then it should give me joy all the time. Isn't that a fair hypothesis to say? Because I'm saying, oh, by being here or by going to this holiday in Alaska, it's my dream holiday. Right? Yeah, sunny California. People love the sun. And if it stays like it is in India, then no, no, no. When is this sun going to? Right? So, which means the object is not giving us joy. Is this clearly understood by everybody? The first example, or the first, not example, the real experience of all of us is that in sleep there is no object, but it is giving us joy. In the second case, there are objects and the objects continuously don't seem to give joy but become the very source of pain. Right? So are objects the source of my joy? As I am running after objects, but मुझे ये मिल जाएगा तो मैं सुखी हो जाऊंगी, मुझे वो हो जाएगा तो मैं सुखी हो जाऊंगी, मेरा ये पास हो जाएगा तो मैं सुखी हो जाऊंगी, मुझे ये खाने मिलेगा तो मैं सुखी हो जाऊंगी, मुझे ये कपड़े मिलेंगे, मेरा इतना बैंक बैलेंस बढ़ जाएगा तो मैं सुखी हो जाऊंगी. It seems that we are, with all these objects that we get more and more, we become SSDD. You know what is SSDD? I've said this in one of the satsang. Sukhi, Samriddha, Dukhi, Daridra. SSDD. It appears that I am a Dukhi Daridra with all the objects because now they become my very cause of pain. Yes or no? So, the point here one needs to understand is the object is not giving me sukha. In sleep, there is no object, yet I'm getting sukha. Now, third most important point. What is the kind of happiness we want, Shrija? We discussed. We want eternal happiness. We said that. We just don't want happiness. We want eternal, it to be always there. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Agree.
Yeah. Eternal happiness means that which stays always. I want you to show me one object in this world which is going to stay eternal. Including yourself or your relationships or your house or your anything. I want you to show me one object which is going to stay eternal. Huh? Come on. We all agreed we want eternal happiness. Not a single object which is going to stay eternal. I want happiness always. But there is no object that can give me eternal happiness. Because, have you heard this? Change is the very nature of life. So that which is always going to change, can it give you the same level of happiness, or the happiness that it will give will also change, which means sometimes it will give you pain and sometimes it will give you happiness. Sometimes it will give you more, sometimes it will give you less. That is the very nature. That is the very nature of nature in which we are living. Now, fundamentally, do you see the flaw in our expectation, in the reality of what things are? We are all our life driven by objects. All our life. Ye class khatam hua ki nahi, we'll shut and we'll be running after objects, which will be. But we don't think, I'm running after this. It's not going to give me eternal joy. It's going to give me temporary joy. After that, I'm going to run after something else. Then something else. Then something else. Then something else. Tatakim, 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 tatakim. What next? What next? What next? We go on running. Till, you remember the last week's story? The guy who died trying to get a bit more of land, says, I will rest after this. I'll rest after this. And then he finally died without living his life. Is true? Now you tell me. If the objects don't give you happiness, the objects themselves are not eternal, but you're looking for eternal happiness. But we all want eternal happiness. At least that everybody has confirmed. Now, if we have been given some desire so strongly, which everybody has universally the same, there must be some way to fulfill it also, right? Yes or no? A desire cannot come if a solution to it is not there in this universe. Just think of it. You may not be aware of the solution, but no desire can come without that solution being there in the universe. Now the question is, we all want eternal happiness. Where is eternal happiness? Let's go hunting. चलो ढूंढने निकलते हैं. कहाँ निकलेंगे? क्योंकि हर object में we saw outside is not the source of happiness. So where should we go for eternal happiness? Because every object that we will run after is itself perishable, is not going to give me happiness after a point, because the more of what I have, it started giving me pain. We also saw that in sleep, the lack of all this was still giving me joy, which very, very clearly now objectifies the fact that objects don't give us happiness. Then where is happiness, do you think? What do you think? Shrija and Sadhusha. And whom else can I ask? Okay, we'll ask them. Wait, now, you know, all objects are exhausted. Pratham can also attempt. Right? All objects externally are exhausted. You're saying that these objects are not giving joy. Is that clear? Anybody who has a doubt on that? More of these objects giving me pain. In the sleep, there is no object. Right? Now, where do you think happiness would be? Where do you think God would have hidden that? Shrija, Sadhusha? First, I'll give you guys the possibility of guessing it.
In our own minds?
In our own minds? Well, good attempt. Because that's the only place we've not found. But surprisingly, you didn't say, you said in our mind. Right? Is the mind going to be there eternally? I'm not saying yes or no. Just parking that question with you. Inquire. Shrija, you want to say anything?
It's the same. Yourself.
Yourself.
Yourself or your. Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
yourself.
mind.
Now,
Yeah.
we don't know what this yourself is, because we right now know myself as only this body, name, eyes, and all that, right? That's how we know ourselves. So we'll explore that with Krishna. He will lead us. Yes, Pratham.
I think it comes from experiences, like what the observer is experiencing.
What?
It can be anything, like just being alive.
Hmm?
Yeah, that can give happiness.
Being alive, okay. That's your source of eternal happiness. But who is the one who is
Yeah.
aware that he's alive?
The observer.
The observer. Who is the observer?
The
Yes,
one is looking, not thinking.
the one who is, okay. You picked that up from our conversation last week, but I'm not going to take that for now. Yeah, because that will take us into quantum in a different area, but we'll get to there. Yes, Sadusha.
So the end goal is to like mingle with God. So maybe God is the end source of happiness, maybe.
Okay. So most of us, yes, commonly understand that the happiness is in our mind, or we say God because we believe God is eternal, right? And therefore, maybe he is the source of happiness. How many of you have seen God? Anybody has that experience of God? In your deepest sleep, are you aware of God? Oh, he's not there. Something's wrong. If he's not there in your deepest sleep, you're not aware of even God there. Because what is God? God has to be eternal, which means he's there all the time. Then only he can give you eternal happiness. What is eternal can give you eternal happiness. But if the experience of God or the knowledge or the awareness of God is not there in your deepest sleep, then where is God? Are you aware of yourself in your deepest sleep? Not as the name and the form and the person. But do you exist in your deepest sleep? As just existing? Do you exist? When you wake up from your deepest sleep, did you have doubt that you existed or not in that state? In your deepest sleep, when you wake up from your deepest sleep, I'm saying, when not dream state, when your deepest sleep, when you wake up, did you have any doubt of your existence? कि मैं उधर थी कि नहीं? Was I there or not? Did you have any doubt? Did you have any doubt? You had? Sadusha, Srija? No, no doubt.
I'm pretty much like doubtful if I've had that deepest sleep yet.
Okay. Yeah, there are that can be a possibility, but we all go through the state of deepest sleep, which is why there are times, have you said, when you've woken up and said, wow, I just had such good sleep today. I rested so well. There was no dream. There was no disturbance. There was no object in your deep sleep. But when you woke up, your awareness that you slept was there. Right? You were not even aware of your body, but you were aware that you slept well. I'm going a little slow specifically for Sadusha and Shrija and Pratham and Akhila and, all those others as well. But just think of it. In your deepest sleep, you were not aware of you as Sadusha, Shrija, Pratham. You were not aware of your body. You were not aware of the things you love, the objects, your dear, that you're a mother, father, sister, brother, nothing. India, abroad, where you are, you're not aware. Right? But when you wake up, you had no doubt that in that state you existed. You existed. Who is this you? We will explore with Krishna. The sense of my existence was never doubted. My name was, I was not aware, my country, nothing, but my existence as awareness, I was not having any doubt. Okay? I'll pause here just for you to take a moment to think of what has been said. And remember, the state of sleep is where there is no object. It's like a freedom, like a moksha. That's why we love to all go to sleep. There is nobody who cannot go to sleep, who cannot avoid sleep. We cannot not avoid sleeping. We would love to sleep. In fact, when we are tired, what happens to us? Say, if I just take a nap, I'll feel rejuvenated. Do we all say this? Yeah. Why? Why? Who is getting rejuvenated there? My body. Yeah, okay. But you also feel fresh in the mind. How does sleep rejuvenate you? What is happening in the state of sleep? These are questions for you to think. I'm not going to answer them. Questions for you to think. So, what did we cover today? We spoke about how the Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata is an all-comprehensive text containing everything that a human man may need or want, classified into Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. We understood the relevance or the symbolic relevance of Arjuna, Duryodhana, the chariot, the horses. We inquired into some fundamental questions that when there are no objects in sleep, but I feel very, very peaceful, happy. When there are objects, but continuous and too much of those objects lead to pain. I'm looking for eternal happiness, but the objects themselves are not eternal, or the people in whom I look for eternal happiness are themselves not eternal, are always changing. So something is fundamentally wrong in the happiness understanding, or something is fundamentally wrong in terms of where I am looking for happiness. Either the address is wrong, or the understanding of what I know as happiness is wrong. Only these two possibilities can happen, right? That my understanding itself of happiness is wrong, and the place where I'm looking for happiness is wrong, right? Then we also saw about the war, how before the war actually took place, Sama, Dana, Danda, Bheda, Danda, all was employed. It was not like it was just a war as we think about. And if you look at Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda, you will deeply, if you look at it, you will see that this is how your mind also operates. First, it will try to settle. Why don't we do it this way, this way? You know, the internal conversation. Then he'll say, okay, take extra half an hour of sleep. Who's talking? Higher intellect with the mind. Take extra half an hour of sleep. Koi baat nahi. Sama, Dana. Then Bheda. See, you don't do this, bad karma is going to happen. You're living a life like an animal. Only Artha Kama, no Dharma. What will happen? You will have bad karma. Bheda. Finally, who the hell cares? I will only think about myself. I will enjoy my life. I will have fun. I will have masti, moj. Then what happens? Danda. In the form of what? You know what is the beautiful word for danda that all human beings use? Karma. Ayo, my karma. We say that, na? It's my karma. That's why I am facing this. Danda. When the danda comes, we remember karma. So the way karma works is exactly this. Sama, Dana, Bheda, Danda. First, karma will give you an opportunity, and I have used this example many times. And it will come and call you. Come, no. Come. Learn how to live life. You know, sort yourself. Take up responsibility of your life. Live more responsibly. Sama, conversation. I'm not interested. Dana. See, if you do this, you know, you'll get good blessings from elders. good blessings from God, Dana, trade. Pah. We all do this, no? So some action because we will get something in return. How many of us pray to God because of that we want something or the other? How many of you pray to God without asking anything? Not even health, wealth, till date. Manoj. So Sama, Dana, then what do we do? Then what does life do with us? Bheda. It gives you little problems. Which we call as conflicts. Then we don't wake up. Then it brings you to that crucial point like Arjuna was brought in front of his most beloved attachments. The attachment of the teacher, of the guru in his case, and of his grandfather. And in our case, you can just know where your attachments are. You will know. Wherever there is pain, you know there is attachment. Simple yardstick, right? Attachment hai to pain hai. Whether it is with children, house, money, pain is happening, attachment is there. Okay? Samadama, Bheda, Danda. Life works exactly like that. This is not just the Shastras telling the conditions of political science. This is the politics of life.